This is gonna be an interesting one. So let's talk about self-love and how it is truly the key and the lock to your major magic. Hey, I'm Madeline, and I'm an intuitive, a tarot reader, and an astrologer who's here to help you invite more magic into your life. So I'm going to start by asking kind of a sensitive question. What is it about us as humans that gets triggered by other people openly feeling themselves? Whether this is somebody that we see on TV or hear on the radio, or whether we have that friend or acquaintance that posts just a ton of selfies on their social media, or maybe we just have that schoolmate or coworker who struts down the halls just really loving the way they look and their life and everything about themselves. I submit that when we see someone willing to risk being in the full passionate expression of themselves, especially if they're doing something that we really wish that we could do, a part of us that is frightened to do that tightens, and we project that fear, that tightness or insecurity onto the other person. He is so arrogant. Who does she think she is? I would never. Now, as much as I'm joking about this, I really understand it's poignant, and most of us, if not all of us, experience those feelings or those sorts of rationalizations at one point or another when a tender part of us is a little bit poked by somebody else's ability to get past their own fears. I've done a lot of work on self-love, both within myself and with the people for whom I read. And one thing that Spirit comes through with consistently is that we are loved unconditionally. And much like an ideal parent, they really only want to see us happy and fulfilled and gracing the world with our singular beauty and gifts, which is something we can really only do in fullness when we love ourselves enough to risk that kind of visibility. I dare you to do something this week, maybe on Friday because it's Venus's day, to love on yourself. And on the topic of dares, I am finally going to fulfill a request made to me by the deity Venus after I worked with her for a long time last year. She blessed me with an answer to my prayer or to my petition, my spell, and asked for a certain offering basically as a next step in my self-love journey. This month, I'm going to sign up for pole dancing classes. Okay, so why pole dance? Well, on a really deeply personal note, I, like many people, am a victim of sexual violence. And for the majority of my life, I've had a lot of fear and vulnerability around being seen at all, so you guys are helping me work some magic right now, and especially around consciously evoking my sensuality. After I received the answer to my spell or my petition, I was doing a gratitude rite, communing with Venus. If that's a little too far for you, you know, get used to it. We're gonna get weird. So while I was doing my Venus work, I received a message from her that basically I needed to step directly through the fire of that fear of being seen, and being seen consciously evoking and sort of performing sensuality, and step onto the other side of that fire, transformed, changed, phoenix fire in whatever way is meant to be. This block, this calcification I've created, existed to protect a vulnerable part of me, but I'm ready to access that power that I've locked away. And since you're listening to this video, I think that you're ready too. I'll be sure to give you a full trip report after my experience, and for my generous patrons, I will be vlogging the entire journey. Woo! If you'd like to support my work and, you know, get in on the white-hot humiliation, you can do that by pledging $1 or more per month over on patreon.com/madeleine.joan. So, what would put you in deeper touch with yourself? What activity or practice could go a little ways to heal a part of yourself that has been hurt or neglected, and once healed could access a major cauldron of big magic? Here is a simple, effective first step to attracting more luck and love, having more fun, and just generally having a more fulfilling and magical life. Every morning and every night, after you brush your teeth, let's say, look in the mirror, put your hand on your heart, look yourself in the eyes, and with as much honesty as you can muster, tell yourself, I love you. I know, I said it was simple, and the degree to which you are cringing right now at the mere thought of doing this is in direct correlation to how badly you need to do this. Remember, challenging your identity kills a part of the ego, and the ego will do some wild shit to keep you in the same situation, even when you know that change would be good for you. Let me put on my nerd hat real quick and explain how this simple practice really does lead to healing and sudden life upgrades. I will put sources in the description for my fellow nerds. So, when we do this kind of practice repeatedly, we are beginning the process of something called myelination, which is essentially building up a new neural pathway in the brain to get into the new habit of loving ourselves. Why does this matter? Is it really that important to love yourself? Can 10 focused seconds really do anything to change and upgrade and improve my life? The answer is an unequivocal fucking A. Neuroscientists are continually discovering the massive benefits of conscious myelination, increased neuroplasticity, which helps us learn faster and be more adaptable. It increases the mastery of anything that we set out to do, and our willingness to stick with something and actually get to the other side of the challenge. You might find that when you get into this new habit of loving yourself, that you find it easier to leave behind toxic things, people, situations, spend time with better people, choose food and drink that are really kind to your body, and a willingness to try out scary new experiences that could hold massive amounts of power to make your big magic. I dare you to try it, and I promise to dare right alongside of you. Until next time, go make some big magic. Bye-bye.